Alright, hi everybody, I'm in my Mineteaker world for Greg Tech 5 here, my Bear's Den mod pack, and I have no idea how well this is going to work, but I'm going to try to show a little bit of how I do my Mineteaking. Basically, these are the last things that I did. This is the copper wire coil for immersive engineering, and it used a copper wire surrounded by a stick to make a copper coil, and then those to make this copper wire coil. And basically, I changed it over. I can show it to you in the game where, okay, I guess I explained that wrong. It was their copper wire surrounding a stick would make this copper wire coil. And I changed it out to need fine wire copper wire from Greg Tech around a stick to make this. And I'm debating on changing the stick to an iron rod. I haven't decided yet on it. And then the electrum is the same thing. It's fine electrum wire around the stick, which if I change the other one to take an iron rod, I will probably change this one to take a steel rod. And then there's the high voltage, which is steel fine wire around a stick, which I will probably change out to either, again, a steel rod or a magnetic steel rod or a stainless steel rod. Haven't decided yet. Y'all can let me know your feelings on it if you'd like. I don't know if anybody actually uses my mod pack or any of my Mineteaker recipes or not, but I just wanted to kind of show you guys how I do it in case anybody wanted to know. The thing I'm working on today is Mineteaker has the stuff to make. I'm trying to look for what could just search, but I'm trying to look while I talk, so don't mind my stammering a little bit here. They have this carbide ingot, which I've already mind tweaked once. If we hit U on tungsten, we should be able to find the recipe. I guess it's going to be in this first in here. I see their most of their recipes either use tungsten ingots or it uses, here's the one I was looking for, a carbide ingot. This is used in almost every one of their recipes for especially like the major things, like this machine housing is one of the main things in the mod that uses it. Your wind turbine, even your basic kinetic generator uses one of these. Geological pump, thermopile uses them. So basically, because it uses tungsten as its main thing, and with having GregTech, getting to make a tungsten ingot, you have to have high voltage IBF. So that makes this recipe really late game to be able to make, which makes most of the earlier game magnetic craft stuff impossible. So I added this recipe. I went online and looked up carbide and found out that it doesn't have to be tungsten to make it. You can use iron, but iron is less efficient at making it. And I made it with carbon dust rather than coal, because with GregTech we have carbon dust, and that's what, you know, gives carbide its thing. I do need to change the output on this, and I think I know how to do it. I'm not positive, but you should be able to see my text here. This is the Mineteaker recipes that I've done, and the way I have changed them. See if I can spread this a little bit. This is removing the steam engine and re-adding a steam engine recipe that uses iron ingots instead of the carbide ingots. Is the only thing I did for that. I haven't used this in my game yet, but I did change it already, so I can when I'm ready. And then I added the shaped recipe for the carbide ingot. Now I do believe if I put a asterisk, let's say 6 behind that, I'm not positive, I've never done this before. Now we go back to here and we type MT reload. That will reload our scripts, and we got an error, which means that it didn't like what I did. I think I know exactly what I did, but we're going to look up the recipe and see, because it didn't like it, it completely removed it. So now we're going to have to go back to this, and we're going to change this and put it here. And now we'll go back to here, and we'll try that again. And now it says loaded, so it should work fine now. And we get 6 of them. So it'll cost you a little less carbon, a little more ingots of metal, iron in this case. You'll get a little bit less than if you use tungsten. Now, the recipe that I actually wanted to change today, so we're going to use this. We're going to copy it down to here, and we're going to remove the recipe for carbide. We're going to see what that does. We actually should probably insert that above adding it, just in case it takes out this one. So now we'll save that. Crap, I forgot to switch that over. I'll show you guys what I just did. Basically what I had done was I just copied this recipe over, put it here, and then took this and put it in here in place of this. I'm not used to doing multi-screen, so bear with me as I do this. So let's come back into the game and reload again. And now we go back down to carbide. We hit R for recipe. And now that removed all recipes except for the one that we had added back in, which is basically what we want. Now we are going to get the right screen up here. We are going to put recipe, add shaped. We'll copy that whole thing. We'll paste it here. We want to do this, but it was making 8 ingots. We want dust, not coal. And we want, basically we're just changing that over so it's the same recipe, but it uses dust, carbon dust, rather than coal, because we have the ability to use carbon with GregTech. So now that should be all of those. Now this one needs to be changed to ingot tungsten, hoping I'm spelling that right because my spelling is atrocious. Okay, now we'll switch back to the game and we'll reload again. We'll check the recipe, and now we should have, and we do, both recipes. Now the only problem is we're missing the recipe of getting these out of the block form. So we're going to have to add that back in. Hit the right button, Goofy. But with GregTech, you actually use a furnace recipe. I'm trying to remember now if it's furnace dot recipe. I think. And then it'll be the magnetic craft item block carbide, maybe. I really should go back to the game and look it up, but we're going to try it just to see. If I'm right. And then we put the brackets Or wait a minute. No. This is actually what goes in here. But wait a minute, we don't need the brackets for because that's for the crafting, I think. Well, maybe we do. I don't know a whole lot about Mineteaker. Basically, I'm just learning. So I might be doing some of this completely wrong. But I'm not going to tell you I'm right when I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I'll tell you. And then y'all can tell me what I did wrong. This should be asterisk 9. And then we have to have the comma space. Save that. We'll come back to our game. We'll reload our script. And it tells us that something is amiss. Recipe, and it does not have any other way of making it, so yeah, it definitely did not like that. See if I can understand what it says here. Error, GregTech 5 magnet script could not resolve item block carbide. No such member in MineTweaker.recipes furnace manager recipe. So I did get the furnace thing right, but it looks like its error is in the name of the block. So we need to find the block of carbide. Carbide block. Alright. Now, we're going to put this in our hand. We're going to type MT hand. And that says it's in or block carbide or Magneticraft block underscore. Okay. Now if I, oops, there's my goofy, not quite here yet screen. Hope y'all like that. Didn't confuse y'all too bad. So bring this up here. And if I do this and hit paste, it should put it right in there. And then we just got to change this because it shouldn't need the one part. So now we'll save that. Go back to our game. We'll do reload. No such member, Minetweak recipe, furnace manager recipe, error executing. Okay, so something is still not right with that. Okay, somehow I got its shaped recipe back, just not the furnace recipe. I'm not real sure how that happened. But in doing so, it deleted the other one. So I'm going to have to look in to see what it is that I'm messing up with this one. So basically I'm going to delete, which actually I'm not going to delete it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put that in there, which makes this a comment, which means it doesn't read that recipe. So now if we come back to the game and we reload the script, it should show us that this does not have a recipe anymore to get it out, and our recipes are still back to what we had before. So that's basically how I do this and what I have been doing. I'm debating on changing these two. I need to play around with Magneticraft a little bit because this is my first time actually playing with Magneticraft. So I'm going to play around with the ore processing with it a little bit. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to change these over, instead of being chunks, to being the crushed IC2 ore. That way we can actually use this for like GregTech processing instead of using just a macerator or a pulverizer. And then we can use it to actually wash it as well if we want to. Again, I don't know what the pebbles and rubble and chunks, exactly which machine gives out which. So I have to look into that, but I'll do that in the game. So for anybody that's never used Mineteaker, hopefully this helps you a little bit. For any of you that have done Mineteaker and actually enjoy doing Mineteaker, hopefully you can help me to help everybody else. If people haven't gotten the idea yet from me requesting y'all to add me to your Twitter or whatever, I want to build kind of like a little community, not where, y'all are followers of me, but y'all are helpers, contributors in making this a mod pack that we all can enjoy. And by giving me feedback and comments, or tweeting me with ideas for things to change or things that you see me do wrong, we can work together to make this mod pack and my playing experience, your playing experience, and your watching experience better, in my mind. So thanks everybody for watching this, and in turn all my other videos, and I hope this was educational or at least entertaining, watching me mess up. And if any of y'all know what I did wrong with that, please feel free to let me know. I'm probably going to eventually look into what I did wrong and fix it, but it's not something that I'm probably going to use right away, because this part of the mod I'm not going to be doing, because I'm not going to be making the carbide to store it into blocks. I'm not going to build weird shapes like this and then decide I need the ingots. So I'm not going to need to get the ingots back out of the blocks. but you know, some of y'all might, and since I put these this mod pack up with all the scripts in it for y'all to use, you know, it'd be nice to have it in there. So I will update my mod pack in Dropbox, and the link in this video and the link in upcoming Greg Tech videos will have the change that I did just now in it. So if anybody wants to actually take that script and fix it, you can do that as well, and then just send me the script. You don't have to send me the whole pack. Or, you know, leave it in a comment, the recipe the way I should have done it, and I'll put it in. If y'all like these mind tweaking recipe fixing and messing up videos, let me know. I'll do more of them. This is not planning on being an everyday or even recurring thing. I just planned on doing it this one time, and but if y'all enjoy it, I'll do it. I actually hate mind tweaking. I hate being in creative. This is like the only time I'm ever in creative, and the only reason I'm ever in creative. So enjoy the fact that you get to see me in creative for like the one and only time anybody will ever see me this way. And have a great day.